Welcome to Horrorland, where nightmares come to life.
I'll tear you to bits. I'll tear your skin off your bones.
Karu Marie O'Donna, Loma Milano Carano.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of Shiver Shelf. And today I'm going to talk about the second book in the Goosebumps series. But before I do that, I only have one favor that I need to ask of you. Just one little thing. Promise me that you're going to do this. Stay out of the basement. Oh, snap! Got that good. It's a favor, and it's the title of the book that I am so clever. So how was this book for me? It was pretty good, to be honest with you. It's actually no mystery why this is one of the most memorable stories from Goosebumps. The tagline on the back of the book is "Living Plants and Dead People?" Question mark? So what's this story about? Dr. Brewer is doing a little bit of plant testing in his basement. Nothing to worry about. Harmless, really. But Margaret and Casey Brewer are worried about their father, especially when they meet some of the plants he is growing down there. Then they notice that their father is developing plant-like tendencies. In fact, he's becoming distinctly weedy and seedy. Those kids should probably leave him alone then. So first thing to look at, which is something I forgot in the last review that I did, is we should look at the cover first, because the cover is almost as much about the story as the story itself is. I mean, this is a reprint of Stay Out of the Basement, so the cover is definitely different from the original. But thankfully with this one, it's not all that different from it. The hand reaching out from inside the door and all of the plants growing out of the basement door is actually something really terrifying, and it kind of brings you back to those fears of being in the basement. I think the only way Stein could have made the story a little bit scarier is if it took place in an attic instead. Because let's face it, there's not many rooms in a house that you can make terrifying. Well, except for a bathroom, which that's for a totally different reason, am I right? And the cover just like catches your eye and makes you wonder what the heck is going on in this book that makes this cover relevant. So now let's get to the actual story. The pacing in this story is actually really brilliant, because it leaves you with this mystery of what is Dr. Brewer doing in the basement exactly. Because you never really know. It really doesn't go into specifics until maybe around the 7th or 8th chapter. Heck, even maybe a little bit after that. It takes a while to actually figure out what he's doing down there. Then you always get this general sense of eeriness. Not just from the basement either, from Dr. Brewer himself. Because Dr. Brewer just seems so cold and detached from the rest of the characters. Like, he's really unnerving to be around. And when you see him doing things that really people don't do, like, I don't know, eating plant food, you're just looking at this guy and going, is he okay? And one of the main character's friends actually calls their dad a mad scientist, and they try to defend him, saying, oh no, he's not a mad scientist. He's not a mad scientist at all. But when you see the things Dr. Brewer does, are we 100% sure he's a mad scientist? One of the scariest things about this story is that it almost seems like the kids can't trust Dr. Brewer. I mean, imagine how terrifying that is, that the person who literally you've known your entire life, you cannot trust, because it always seems like he's doing something that's really shady. The interactions between the characters is mildly okay. There are a few times where the kids do something stupid, but I actually kind of let it pass. And the twist at the end of this story, while still not too clear, is actually really effective. And it's one of those twists that leave it to fan theories. Like, there's so many different routes you can go with this twist. It's actually terrifying that Stein doesn't make this a clear-cut ending. It's like, oh, we don't really know what's gonna happen next. So, at the end of the day, I'd have to give Welcome to Dead House a solid 9 out of 10. Yes, it can be a bit silly at some points. Yes, the pacing can slow down, but all in all, this is actually a good Goosebumps book. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Shiver Shelf, and I will see you next time. And remember, stay out of the basement.